Tagalos Boker or Bekiim Bahalacha for day 90. We are on Siman Lamed Aleph, Halacha Aleph, right? We're starting a new Siman, which is 31. Tefillin on Shabbat and Yom Tov. So it says like this: it's forbidden to wear tefillin on Shabbat and Yom Tov since those days have the status of an ot. Okay, it is a disgrace for them if someone is going to display a different ot, meaning that if you already have such a high sign, for you to come and to show another sim. Remember, we gave the example of the signet ring and the mamash, the stamp of Hashem. It's a disgrace for the Shabbat and Yom Tov. You're going to put on another ot, and the same applies to Yom Kippur. I mean, even the same day of the second day of Yom Tov, which they do in Chutz La'aretz, also is the same halacha. Look at 248. The Olat Tamid, Sari the Kavachim Sofer, explained that this is because the Torah refers to Yom Kippur as a Shabbaton. Okay, and the Ramah noted that some people residing in countries outside of the land of Israel practice stringently observing the fast of Yom Kippur for 2 days, 10th and 11th of Tishri. The Mishabra explained that these people must nevertheless also say the ordinary weekday prayers and put on the tefillin on the 11th of Tishri. Right? Halacha number 2. Okay? So halacha number 2 says, it is best to follow the stringency of treating tefillin as an item which is muktzeh on Shabbat and Yom Tov, since it's forbidden to wear them. Nevertheless, right, it is permissible to handle the tefillin if it's necessary, right, to protect them or to avoid them from mistreatment. It is likewise also permissible to move them if someone needs to use their place, if it's going to be located for another purpose. In fact, it is permissible to handle them in order to demonstrate what the knots or straps look like, or how the tefillin has a perfectly square shape, or how the letter shin on the tefillin shalosh also looks. So basically, it's basically telling us that number one, mitzad echad, ra'ui lachmir, that you should not be metaltel, because if you're not allowed to put it on, so don't move the tefillin. However, though, whenever it's the tzorech, whether the tefillin itself or tzorech gufan or tzorech mekoman, so it's going to be mutar. Meaning, maximum it's going to be is a klish v'nachtol yisur. It cannot be anything worse than that. So if you're going to tell me that it's a muktzeh because you can't put it on, so fine. So ra'ui lachmir, that it's considered a muktzeh because it's a sur to put them on. But if it's going to be tzorech the mekomo, tzorech gufo, tzorech mekomo, for sure you would be able to. And then we give those examples of what that is. Okay, number 3 says, right, residents of countries outside of the land of Israel, that they have to do the second day of Yom Tov, are not allowed to wear the tefillin on the second day of Yom Tov. Now, even though it has a status as a holy day in our sages' institution, it must be treated no less than the actual Yom Tov in itself. Meaning, I would have said, listen, it's only the Rabbanan, so put on the tefillin. No. At the end of the day, this is also where it's considered like a Yom Tov, and therefore you're not allowed to put on tefillin. If people would have to wear tefillin on the second day of Yom Tov, so then they would just start doing melacha on Yom Tov. Meaning for us, the second that we come and we see that you would do that, it's like it takes the Yom Tov out of your eyes, right? And therefore you just say, okay, so I'm going to start working on Yom Tov. Yom Tov Sheni. We're talking about Yom Tov Sheni, yeah? Fine. Okay, the last halacha in the Shulchan Aruch, then we'll go back to the footnotes. He says, if a resident of the land of Israel visits another country and spends Yom Tov there, but he plans to return afterwards. So this happens many times. You have an Israeli, right? He comes here, but now he's going to go back to Israel. So what does he do? The second day of Yom Tov, right? Or the 8th day of Yom Tov, right? It's actually a weekday. So on that day, he has to put on tefillin in private. He has to say Shema, and then he goes to synagogue dressed in Yom Tov's clothing, and he prays together with congregation. While the congregation recites the Yom Tov prayers, he should silently say his own private prayers. He can say together the Hallel together with them, but obviously not with the Bracha. And it's recommended that he omits the 2 passages that he would normally omit from Hallel and Rosh Chodesh. While the congregation recites Amidah Musaf, he just stands holding the prayer book in his hand, and he's saying Teilim. Kilu, he's pretending he's saying Amidah. For more details about this, look in the Yalkut Yosef and the English edition. What does that mean? Some people think, Israeli. So what? He doesn't have to come at all. It's a mistake. Right? It's 100% a mistake. Because that means he's just showing that he's being mizalzel in Yom Tov. Because at the end of the day, he's in Chutz La'aretz. So you have to show that you're doing like them. So in order to do that, so again, at home, because he still has to wear tefillin, obviously. For him, it's a weekday. So at home, privately, he's going to put on the tefillin and say Shema. Afterwards, he comes to the Bet Knesset. He's going to have to go through the entire tefillah. But when he's going through and he's coming with a suit and everything, mamash, like as if Yom Tov, right? The only thing is he's praying a weekday prayer. So he prays a weekday Amidah, and we're praying the Yom Tov Amidah. When it comes to, for example, the Musaf, so he's just reading Tehillim, but he's got the book as if that he's saying Amidah. You understand? And all these, he could say Alel, just without a Beracha. and he does, you should just skip out, you should do like Rosh Chodesh, he skips out, doesn't not the full Hallel, right? The Chetzi Hallel. So by doing all these things, he doesn't outwardly show that he's being mizalzel and Yom Tov. Because at the end of the day, he's not supposed to. That's what we're just saying. That's exactly what we're just saying. You're not supposed to stay home. And the reason why is because you're not supposed to show that you are doing not Yom Tov. You are in Chutzaretz. If you're in Chutzaretz, you have to act like them.